for me, I was a nighttime flightline chaplain, which I absolutely, I think I pull the best assignment there. I think the active duty chaplain, there's always been this tug between active and reserve, as if there's a difference, so to speak. I remember coming into Balad to the chaplain, and they said, "Oh, you're a reservist." Well, I was also older than most of the chaplains already. I had 11 years senior pastor experience. I mean, had been doing this for, so I said, yeah. And so I was captain, pretty well young captain at the time. And so they said, "We're going to put you on nighttime flight line." And I said, okay. So I took it, loved it. I got to go everywhere. I was the only chaplain on duty out on the flight line. So I went into TOC, I went into security force, I went everywhere. I went to the secret squirrel camp, place over there. And it was just great. But one night a week, I had to relieve the night chaplain at the hospital at Balad. And Balad was, at that time, we were coming down, if you remember the time frame, you're right, we were still, I mean, it's Mortaritaville for a reason. I mean, it was, 2 or 3 times a day we were getting still shelled. But it was also the main central collection hospital for especially northern Iraq, in particular Baghdad, all the rest. And so we were still seeing a lot of IED issues. We're seeing a lot of others coming in. So for me, dealing with that once a week just showed the importance of our medical, what we had going on, and also that long term. And then it really made an impactful part on me to see what we were doing to get people through the Heroes Highway. If you go back and look into pictures of Balad, if you ever Google Balad and come up Heroes Highway, you see that flag that was underneath, it was over an awning where the choppers would come in and they would bring them through. If they brought a person through alive under that flag, there was a 98% chance we got them out of Iraq, at least back to Germany or back to the U.S. alive. 98%. This was catastrophic injury, sometimes others. But it just reminded me that there's the different parts of this. As a chaplain, you always deal, and there's times in Iraq that I would deal with the normal problems, family hungers back home. I don't like this. My commander hates me, that kind of stuff. Or my wife's leaving me. That was terrible issues you have to deal with. But the hospital took it a different step. And for me now, coming full circle to be the secretary of the VA, which I have 172 hospitals and 1,200 CBOCs and, 390,000 medical people that work in these hospitals, it reminded me of the need of individuals' care. And there was one story in particular. If you remember back at the time, Stars and Stripes would all, in their weekly paper out in Iraq, they would actually put the pictures of those deceased, if they had them, on about page 5 or 6 there. And I remember picking it up one night when I went to the DFAC to eat, and there was about 4 or 5 on there that I had personally seen or prayed over or talked about. And so that put it really real for me. But just the what we do now. So I see those coming back. Some of those probably I saw in Balad are now in our system. If they are in Balad, you were there between 08 and 09, send me a note. I'd love to talk to you.